Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Manitoba Start is the leading provider of career services to newcomers in the province of Manitoba and connects business to a world-class workforce. I would like to welcome you all to this Spotlight webinar, a series of live broadcasted events designed to assist you in entering the Manitoba labor market. Manitoba Start acknowledges that we're gathered on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of Anishinaabe, Anishinawak, Dakota Oyate, Denisovan, Nihiltaq nations, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. We acknowledge that our water is sourced from Sholal 40 First Nation. As a newcomer serving organization, we commit to learning about the histories, cultures, and the rights of the Indigenous communities, to strive to build a respectful and supportive relationship for all. Today's webinar is focusing on the SEED Winnipeg Recognition Counts program. My name is Luna. I'm the Outreach Coordinator here at Manitoba Start, and I will be your host for today's webinar. So given the large number of participants that have joined us today, we have muted your microphone to allow for better clarity and less interference. So before we begin, I will just go through a couple of housekeeping items. So by the end of the session, we will have a Q&A. So to ask your question, you can either raise your hand, because Teams webinar has a raise hand features to indicate that I have like a question or a comment, so you can use that one. And to do this, you can click on the participants button in the meeting controls, find the raise hand icon and next to your name and click on it. Once we're notified that we have a raised hand, I'm gonna unmute you from my side, and you have to unmute manually from your side as well. Teams webinar also have a Q&A feature, so you can also use the Q&A panel to ask your question. You can also use the chat. If you're using a mobile device, you can do the same thing. You can raise your hand, Q&A, or chat. Before I introduce you to our presenter for today, I would like to run a few polls to get to know you more better. So I will be launching the polls, and we'll get the polls on your screen. So our first poll for today is asking, are you registered with Manitoba Start? So you can just, if you can see the poll on the screen, you can just select yes or no and then submit. If you are unable to see it, just let me know. I'll give you a moment to answer. Okay, thank you, Alexander. If you can use the chat, the poll, you can also use the poll. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I can see your responses on the chat. If you can use the polls to answer, that would be great as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can see everyone is responding on the chat. That's great. Thank you for registering and being Manitoba Star client. Okay, I'm going to close the poll and I'll share the results with you. That would include only the ones that responded on the poll. So we do have 100% registered with Manitoba Start. Thank you everyone again for being Manitoba Start client. I can see also the chat responses. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to our second poll for today. And it's asking, do you need help with your resume, cover letter, or interview preparation? You can do the same. You can click on yes or no, and then click on submit. I hope everyone can see the polls on the screen. We will now close the poll and I will share the results with you. Okay, from the responses that we get on the poll, we do have 80% responses as yes. So I'll be sharing more resources on how Manitoba Start can help you with your resume, cover letter, and the interview prep. And we do have 20% that says no. Thank you, everyone, for your participation again. I'll go on with the third poll, which will be asking about your location. So where are you joining us from today? Are you from northern Manitoba, southern Manitoba, Winnipeg, or outside of Canada? Please check on the your location and then click on submit. You can see people are joining us from Winnipeg and southern Manitoba. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Welcome, everybody. Okay. Great. So we will now close the poll. We do have 100% attendees from Winnipeg. So again, welcome everyone who are joining us for today's session. Our last question for today is asking, what's your reason for attending this webinar? Are you an internationally educated professional, a settlement worker, a career coach, or other? I'll give you a moment to answer. Okay, now we will close the polls and I will share the results with you. We have quite a mix of attendees today. We do have 57% internationally educated professionals, 7% settlement workers, and 14% career coaches, and 20% falls under the other category. Thank you everyone again for participating in the polls. So our today's webinar is with SEED Winnipeg, Recognition Counts program. So SEED Winnipeg is a nonprofit organization working to build strong communities and increase opportunities for people through financial empowerment programs. The Recognition Counts webinar will provide you information on recognition count loans for skilled immigrants who wish to have their credentials recognized in Canada. And in today's webinar, participants will learn about the recognition count loan details, eligibility requirements, and how you can apply. The session will also offer tips for success through the process based on real-life examples of past successful applicants as well. So please help me welcome Rami from SEED Winnipeg. Over to you, Rami.
Thank you so much, Luna. Thank you so much, all, and welcome to the Recognition Counts information session. We appreciate your time and effort to join us to learn about the how we can help you, whether you are in a regulated occupation and need help with your foreign credentials recognition process, or you have a non-regulated occupation and need help meeting Canadian education requirements. I will talk about our loan and what is it called, recognition counts, and I will explain to you how it can help low-income skilled immigrants pay for the costs of meeting those requirements. I'm going to share my screen now, Luna, I believe. I can do that, right?
Yeah,
Excellent. All right. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, this would be should be this one. Okay. I guess everyone can somehow see my screen if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we can see that, Remy. If you want to put
Excellent.
it on a slideshow, you can as well.
Sure. A second. Uh, I always get confused with the
On the
slideshow
yeah, on
part.
the
Yeah,
bottom, like to your right side. Okay, yeah,
there you go. Right?
yeah,
Is this
this
how
is
it is?
perfect. Yep.
Excellent. All right, so again, welcome to our Recognition Counts program. I just want to share with you what we have for the agenda for today. Today, we're going to learn more about our SEED Winnipeg and what does it SEED stands for and what does it talk about and at the same time, what programs do we have at SEED that you could benefit from it, not just our Recognition Counts program. I will speak about it briefly, but if you would like to learn more about it, you can always check our website, seedwinnipeg.ca, to learn more about the program. Our Recognition Counts program, we will also today talk about our partners, the features for the loan, the eligibility, how can you apply for it. I'm going to share some statistics with you about the loan and also send you like a link for our success stories, like a video, in case we do not have the time to share it during our meeting today. This is also a video taken from our past participants and how the Recognition Counts program helped them in their journey. And at the end, after we're done with the meeting, I'm going to share with Luna, who's going to share with you some tools and resources file, and also this presentation for your own reference. All right, so before we start, who are we? As you can see here in this picture, there are three people. We are the Mighty team. I like to call ourselves Mighty because we're only three. On the left side or on your right side, you will see Sandra, and Sandra is a skilled immigrant from Argentina. She's the program manager and she oversees the program as a whole. Sitting in the middle is our loan coordinator, Jeff. Jeff is Canadian, Winnipegan born. He was born in Winnipeg, and he is the loan coordinator who you would be dealing with and talking to more often if you are interested to learn more. If you want to reach out to him, I'm gonna share his also contact info at the end of the presentation today. And then comes me. My name is Rami. I'm originally Egyptian, and I'm also a skilled immigrant. I moved here to Winnipeg 4 years ago, coming from the US, and I work as the marketing and outreach coordinator. So, let's see. So, what is Seed about? I'm gonna stop the slide for a second here because I need to share some of that. You can still see my slide, right?
Yeah, we
I
can
believe I
still
believe
see
so.
your slides. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So I just want to tell you a little bit about SEED, and I want to tell you that this is a non-for-profit organization. And as we mentioned in the introduction that Luna mentioned, that we are trying to help people get out of poverty in just simple words. And our mission and vision is to try and help people feel financially empowered, and at the same time they can find opportunities to help them with the living costs, especially if you're on a low income. And the Seed Winnipeg has been there for nearly 30 years and more, trying to help all Manitobans with any financial programs that could support them. Our programs and services are for free, and you don't need to pay for any of our services. So that being said, let's start with what do we do at Seed? We have two main departments. The first one is the asset building program, And the asset building program, we have different programs with it. The first one is the access to benefits program. And from the name, as you can see, it's access to benefits. With SEED Winnipeg, we help participants access any governmental benefits that are available for them. And the governmental benefits could be something like getting their tax filed, which is we have now, we are in the tax season, and you can get them filed for free. You can also access to getting like the your ID, like a birth certificate, a Manitoba health card, a Canadian birth certificate. Also, with some of our coordinators at SEED Winnipeg, we will help you with the application for other stuff such as opening a checking account. If you would like to open a bank account, we can help you with that as well. Second program is the money management program, and this is a 16 hours of training, learning more about finances here in Canada, as it's different from our home countries. So you will learn topics such as budgeting, money choice, debt, asset, and how can you, manage your money here in Canada. And when you're done with your 16 hours training, this can get you to be eligible for our third program. And this third program is the Saving Circle program. The Saving Circle program is this is a training, or like in other words, this is a program where your money, you can start saving money, and this money towards an essential goal. So if you would like, for an example, to purchase a bed or a computer, or you want to put some money away for emergencies. And what you learned from the money management training, you can actually put it into practice. And when you achieve the savings of $250, and that's the max, uh, Seed Winnipeg is going to match your saving 3 to 1, which means that we are going to give you $750 on top of the 250. So you would have a maximum of a $1,000 to get you to purchase the goal that you were saving for, whether it was, as we mentioned, the bed, or like saving money for emergencies, or you want to buy a laptop or anything like that. And then the last program we have is the Money Stories and Junior Facilitator program. And this program is technically exactly the same, more or less, like the money management training, but it is just a curriculum for Indigenous folks. So with Indigenous and knowledge keepers and elders from the community, we adapted the education materials, and they are going to be taught through an Indigenous lens. And it also, as we said, have a summertime employment program for Indigenous ages between 15 to 30. It's paid, and it's going to be at SEED Winnipeg. They're going to learn more about the job skills training and the cultural activities over July and August. Second department we have here is the Business Development Services. And this department consists of two programs. The first one is the Business Enterprise Support and Training, in other words, BEST. And this is a training, and this is like a 5 weeks training program for people who would like to like they have a business idea and they wanted to explore the feasibility of opening their own business here in Manitoba. So you're going to learn more about finances, marketing, sales, tax, what are the paperwork needed. And this training is followed by a one-to-one business consulting, and it's going to support with launching your own business here in Winnipeg. After you already launched it, the consultant is going to follow up with you for a whole year, and it is going to be for free, as we mentioned earlier. Then comes the main reason why you're here today, which is our Recognition Counts program. And this is the one where we're going to dive deeper into it, how it started, and we will learn more about it. I told you briefly about all the programs that we have at SEED Winnipeg. However, as I mentioned earlier, you can always check our website, seedwinnipeg.ca. You will find the tab for the programs. You can go ahead and choose the program that you want to learn more about. You will always find the contact info for the people to reach out to if you have questions. Before I start, as a marketing and outreach coordinator, I want to let you know that Today, we're just going to speak briefly about recognition counts due to the time limit, but we do deliver 3 information sessions on a monthly basis. That's available every month. You can always check our website, as we said, seedwinnipeg.ca, or you can check our social media. We post about it every single month. There is 3 information sessions to talk mainly about the Recognition Counts program delivered by me and the Recognition Counts loan coordinator, Jeff, who is going to discuss deeper everything about the program. All right, so before we start a little bit, let me go back to how it started. We started that Winnipeg, Seed Winnipeg responded to a call for proposal from the federal government under Canada's Foreign Credentials Recognition Program. And this started 2012 in a partnership model. Our partners are technically our funding partners, the federal government and the province of Manitoba. They provide the money to operate the program, but Seed Winnipeg is the organization that takes applications and makes referrals to our financial partner, which is a Assiniboine Credit Union. And Seed manages the partnership and work directly with clients who wish to apply to the loan, because Seed is not a financial institution and we do not give out loans. We need a financial partner who can do that for us. And that's why we chose a Assiniboine Credit Union, because we already had a history of working together on other projects. And they are very enthusiastic and supporting the initiative. And they are ones to give you the money who you pay the loan back to them. All right. Let's start with the program recognition counts services. So as you can see here with the services we provide 2 types of loans. We will talk about them in a minute. We also offer online financial education courses where you can learn more about understanding and managing that, creating budget, and how financial institutions evaluate credit. And these services are available as well on our website. And we do have workshops. We do it on a monthly basis or maybe every other month, not the information session. Those are different workshops about credit history and credit reports. You will also get a financial coaching from, as we said, the loan coordinator, Jeff, who has over than 20 years finances experience working in banks and working in credit unions. And as we mentioned about the workshops, you can always find it in our website events. You can always check the homepage. It will tell you everything about the coming events for our workshops. We do sometimes other workshops such as Sudden Wealth and also Investigating for Youth. And this is not just with RC, this is Seed Winnipeg in general. And as we said, all our services are for free. I want to tell you a little bit about the loan, and I want to let you know that our loans are a character-based loan. And when we say character-based loan, the 2 loans that we provide and we talk about, depending on what of occupation you are studying and where are you in your credential process or credential recognition process. Our loans designed to help internationally trained or educated low-income skilled immigrants to pay for the costs and expense related to their credentials recognition process through a loan. And with our funding partners and financial partner, we have been able to customize this loan offering to be more flexible and lower cost compared to traditional loans. And we are going to speak about traditional loans and the difference between our loan and the other traditional loans in the coming slides. So the first loan we do have here, as you can see from the name, assessment loan. So the assessment loan is that for those who are in a regulated profession. And when we say regulated profession, we mean they have a formal assessment process that usually involves having your documents, education, and experience from back home assessed to see how it meets the Canadian equivalencies. And there are costs such as the assessment application fee, the document translation, or even getting some documents sent back from home. Sometimes they ask for English language test. These are the type of costs that can be covered by the assessment loan. And the maximum amount is $3,000. And we will work with you, not me, the loan coordinator is going to work with you to determine the right amount of loan for your situation. This loan provides you, as we mentioned earlier, up to $3,000, and you will need to pay it regularly on a monthly payment. And as you can see in the repayment is blended, that's principal amount and the interest amount. Speaking of the interest amount, you can see that we do have two types of interests. There is a fixed and there is a variable, but the interest rate is 4.45. You can decide whether you wanted to have it fixed or you wanted to have it variable, but when you decide, you cannot change your mind during the term, during the time that you will have to pay it back. And the field of work, it has to be in either same or similar field. You cannot change the field by doing your assessment. Then we have our black horse. This is what I call it, the Foreign Credential Recognition Loan. And this is the one, or FCR loan. That's the one that we are known for, and it's very popular. It has the same interest rate, which is 4.45. There is also the same term of you deciding whether you would like to have it as fixed or variable. It's up to you. You get to decide. The difference with this loan that this loan helps not just regulated jobs, unlike the assessment loan, it also helps non-regulated and trade occupations. And when we say regulated, we mean jobs such as nurses, pharmacists, engineers, and some example where you would need a license to actually practice the job. But some for the non-regulated jobs could be software engineers, marketers, business administrators, for an example. And there is the trade where you can, if you would like to do like plumbing or gas fitting or even being a professional chef. So the field of work, it doesn't matter, not as strict as the assessment loan. The maximum amount is different. You have up to $30,000. Again, we work with you depending on, and that's why we say we tailor it based on your needs. Depends on your needs. People, you don't usually go to the 30,000. The normal is between 15 and 20, but we have up to 30,000. The repayment is up to 6.5 years, and that's until August 1st. This loan here, it's a program, as we said, by the federal government, and is this program ending in 2028. We cannot guarantee whether they are going to renew the program after 2028 or not, but until 2028, we have the program running. And therefore, the money is the same, but when the period gets squeezes, like get less, that's why you will find that the period for you to pay the full amount is less as well. And how we divide it, we technically divide it into up to 30 months or 2 years and a half, where you will be paying interest only amount, because we assume that during the 2 years and a half you will be learning and you will be finishing, which is also one of the criteria we will talk about later, which is your career plan. To have this program or to have this loan, it has to be your study finishes or the whole process finishes in less than 2 years and a half. So during the 2 years and a half, you'll be paying interest only, so you will be paying less money. But then you have up to 60 months afterwards, where you will be paying from interest and the principal. The amount of money you will be paying will be a little bit more. It's understood, assuming that after the 2 years and a half, you'll be already working by then and making more money for the job that you were supposed to do, not a survival job anymore. So this is why the up to 6.5 years until August. So after August 1st, the 6.5 years are going to go less, so they will probably be 6 years. So that is why I always tell people, if you are interested in having the loan, start now if possible. Okay. What are the features or the loan? What does it cover? As we mentioned, unlike the assessment loan where it only pays for your assessment, this one has even more variety. It can help you with your basic living costs, where you will, if you need some money for transportation, food, rental, housing, child minding, all of that. Sorry, I switched the slide. So that will be in the, it can cover the basic living costs. It also helps with your occupation specific. So sometimes some jobs, they need some money to pay for criminal record check, or they need to purchase some tools, or there are some registration fees. So the loan can help you with that as well. And with your education, if you need to pay for your tuition, exam fees, books, even if you would like to travel to Ottawa, for an example, or like out of province, so it can cover your travel costs. What's not acceptable for the loan are these three conditions. One, you are not allowed to give it to someone. So you cannot just take the loan and give it to someone. You cannot buy a major asset like a house or a car, and you cannot have it for your living costs if you are receiving an EIA. However, with the EIA, you will need to report to your EIA officer, and sometimes they allow you, depending on how much money are you making through EIA and how much money are you actually spending for your recognition counts process. Sometimes they give exceptions, but you will need to talk to your officer. Okay, so what are the features for the loan? As you can see here, you are allowed to repay it at any time without any penalty. Unlike other loans, there will be penalty where if you decided to pay earlier than the time. No, you can pay it anytime. There is no penalty. That's why we call it's open, and there is no extra charge for paying earlier. The interest repayment loan is prorated from the day that you from like for the loan only. Like this is again, this is technically credential recognition loan only, where from the day they were dispersed, not when your application was accepted. So from the day that you actually the money was transferred to your bank account. The payments are registered with the credit bureau, and that does that mean? It means that if you didn't have any credit history, you can build it with this loan. Or if you have a credit history, this can help you if you pay on time, improving your credit score every time you pay on time. But it's a double-edged weapon, because if you don't pay on time, this will affect on your credit score and it will be negative. All right. Last thing is that we do not have any loan fees if you would like to have the loan. In fact, SEED has an agreement with the Assiniboine Credit Union that we cover even the little charges to open a credit union account with ACU or Assiniboine Credit Union. So the $5 membership, we are going to pay it for you, so it's covered. So it's going to be for free for you. So that's why we said no loan fees. Okay, so what is the difference between our loan and a traditional loan? As you can see in the slide here, in the traditional loan, they will need a proof of employment, and you will need to work in a job for quite some time where they can see your payroll. And if you are working a survival jobs like on an Uber or Walmart or Tim Hortons, they don't usually guarantee the amount, or they will put a very high risk, which will increase your interest rate. With our loan, you're not required to do that. We do not require employment. That's one advantage. A second thing is that before going for the capacity, for your employment, you will just need to provide any alternative that you have some money around. You don't need to prove, but you can just give us like if you're receiving an EI or a rent assist or a Canada Child Benefits payment, or if you have already your spouse is going to cover your expenses. So this is different than proving with an employment, like a proof of employment. Okay. If you second thing is the capacity. The traditional banks or loans, they look at your income right now, and you look at your job right now, what you're doing right now, and based on that, they give you the amount. But when it comes to our loan, like our recognition counts loan, we look for the current and the future. Given that in your career plan, you said that you're a doctor, you will be making, or sorry, you're a nurse. So by that time, you will be making this amount of money. So we evaluated accordingly. The credit score with the traditional bank or the traditional loan, they will ask you for 625 at least. So you have to be above 625. For us, as long as you have an okay credit score, we already know that you're coming from a country that might not be dealing with credit scores, so it's not required. Same as credit history, it's also not required because this is made for skilled immigrants and newcomers. And you don't need to have any positive net worth, like you don't need to have any assets aside that to guarantee. Unlike the bank, they will need to have the asset that you have a house or you have a car before they give you the loan. And also you're saving some money aside in case you couldn't pay off the loan. At least there is money that the bank can take it. With our recognition counts loan, those two are not required. All right. So with the difference here, the interest rate is lower. We are flexible with the repayment. So we already reduced 3 out of the 5 from the normal loan qualifications criteria that I just mentioned. You're not required to be employed. You're not required to have a credit score, and you're not required to have assets or pledge security. So how, or if I would like to be eligible, what do I need? One, you will need to be recognized that in order to work, you will need to make sure that your job is in demand. You created a career plan that is 2 years and a half or less. And having Manitoba Start as our formal partner, the employment consultant, in other words, career coaches, they can sit with you to help you with the career plan. If you would like to apply for the loan, but you need support with your career plan, they can help you with like planning a realistic one. And when we say realistic, because we have some regulated jobs, the study and the process for it is 4 or 5 years, like being doctors, for an example. And the career plan, they think they can finish it in 3 years and a half. That's not a realistic plan. So career coaches with Manitoba Start, they can help you with that. When we say a job in demand, you can learn about that from Google, or even from, you can go on Google and you write just in demand jobs for Manitoba. So you can at least know that when you get the loan, you can guarantee there is a job for you, that you will be able to make money out of it. You will need to be a resident of Manitoba. It doesn't matter if you're in Winnipeg or not, as long as you're a resident of Manitoba. You face barriers of getting a loan, like you maybe went to a bank already and the bank rejected your loan and you couldn't get loan, so you can come to us. The status, you don't need to be a permanent resident or naturalized Canadian. Naturalized Canadian means that you were born abroad, but then you got your citizenship here from Canada. We accept also refugees as long as they have an open work permit during the study period, and temporary foreign workers as well, as long as they have the open work permit for the period of the study or the period of the loan. So who is not eligible? Unfortunately, international students visa holders are not eligible for this program. They are eligible for the training, the business training program, the BEST program, but they're not eligible for our program. If you have a live-in caregiver visa holder, you're also not qualified. And if you're a refugee claimant, you unfortunately not qualified for the program. The how to apply, as we said, you can be referred by to SEED when you complete your career plan or CAP. And as we mentioned, it has to be 2 years and a half or less. And Manitoba Start, technically, if you go and ask for support, they're going to give you a referral code. This referral code will get you to access our application on our website. And this is where you can complete the application itself. And as you can see in the application, you can see they will ask you to fill some personal information, education and employment, current employment, and so on. Okay, so the career plan, it needs to demonstrate these 3 things: that there are chances of finding employment reasonable, and that is why we said you can check in-demand jobs to make sure that your job is in demand. A second thing that the question they ask also in your career plan, like what is the realistic entry level salary for this occupation? So you will need to do some digging to know this job, what is the entry level income from the job that you're going to apply for when you know that it is actually in demand, and what is your backup plan in case things went like south. What would be your backup plan? Are you saving some money aside? Is there someone else who's going to support you with some of the money to pay off the loan? What's your backup plan? So that's what your career plan should cover or should demonstrate. Before you apply, we always say make sure that you sit and you have a proper career plan with a career coach. Visit Manitoba Jobs, Skills and Development Centers, workforce training and employment to make sure that your jobs and skills are needed here. Check if you are eligible for any student aid or national student loan that might offer even a lower interest rate, for an example, or extra flexibility. Check if you can get a scholarship, grants, or bursaries. That would be better than having a loan. And I know it's surprising for me to say something like that. Remember, we said at SEED Winnipeg, we are trying to help people stay out of poverty, not to put people in poverty. So if there is a benefit for you to get a scholarship or a grant and you don't need to pay it back, then this is a good opportunity. Like, I mean, dig into that. And also check the student line of credit or professional programs available at some financial institutions where you get your finances, like, I mean, your study or your recognition counts process being done. So this is the video. I'm going to share it with you by the end of the presentation. I guess we already reached the end of the presentation. Before we open, I will check with Luna right now. Do we have the time to watch the video or not? But these are our contact info. This is my contact info here. If you would like to reach out to me to ask any general question, I'll be more than happy to help. And then this is Jeff, the loan coordinator. If you'd like to ask technical questions, he's the one who is best to answer these questions. Before saying thank you, I would open the floor for any of the questions. But let me ask first, Luna, what do you think? Should we just watch the video first, or should we just go for the Q&A because you are the one with the timing and we can share the video later? What do you think?
Yeah, how many minutes is that, Remy?
I would say it's like 5 minutes, I would assume.
Yeah, we can, I mean, like, we can go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
let me go ahead and I think it's not gonna work from the slides. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna just share my window on the YouTube, and let's see if people can see it from the window there. 1 second. Okay, until then, can we open the floor for the Q&A and then we can end with it? What do you think? Luna,
For
do you think
sure.
it's better?
Yeah,
We
we
can
can do
start
that.
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
until I
Yeah.
get it prepared. Yeah.
Of course. Yes. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Remy, for that informative presentation. And now, yes, we will open it up to the audience to ask their question. We do have a couple questions on the chat. I'm going to just forward that for you. But meanwhile, if anyone wants to ask their question, they can raise their hand, or maybe you can just write your question on the chat or Q&A as well. So we do have
Sure.
in the Q&A, they're asking, are the services available to temporary residents as well? Probably
That's a
you
good.
went through. Yeah.
If they have I mentioned earlier
Yeah.
in the presentation that if they do have an open work permit, so if your visa is temporary foreign worker, but you have an open work permit, yes, you are eligible.
Okay, thank you, Remy. And we
Yeah.
do have from Behavik. They're asking, do we get the slides after the meeting? You also mentioned that one, so yes.
Yes, I'm going to share the slides with Luna, and Luna is going to share it with everyone, along with a file, like a document file that we collected some resources for your support that might help you with your journey or just general resources. So I'm going to share that with Luna, and Luna is going to share it with you guys.
Okay, that's great. And Epping is asking, anyway, you need to pay interest rate.
Well, I mean, the interest rate is definitely essential. Like every loan has an interest rate, so it's not just the amount, but the difference is the interest rate is 4.45, as we mentioned. So with let me just share this slide here, so in case people forgot about it. So I'm just gonna share just this one real quick here. There you go. If you can see this slide here. So this is what I just shared with you earlier, that yes, we do have an interest rate, which is 4.45, but the way you pay it is that you will pay the interest rate only in the first 2 years and a half, which usually a small amount, but then you will pay the interest and principal, that's after the 2 years and a half, and you have up to 60 months to pay your interest and principal amounts.
Okay, great.
Have I answered the question?
Yeah, it should be. If
Yeah,
it's not answered, then you can raise your hand.
sure.
Yeah, and then we can go on from that as well. And Mohammed is saying, thank you, Rami, for the details.
Thank you.
I want just to ask you about the loan interest, if you have an exact idea. It's the same, similar question. I don't know.
Like exact amount, with the exact amount I cannot tell you exactly like what is the exact amount, because we don't know how much money are you going to get, right? Neither the loan coordinator can tell you, will always be able to tell you an average, like an average amount. If you have an idea in mind that you want to take 10 grand or 15 grand, or if you have an idea in mind, I would recommend that you would reach out to Jeff. In the slides, you will find his contact info right here. He is the loan coordinator. He can also give you like a rough amount, whereas like an average of how much money that you can make. Here is his contact info. He would be able to tell you an average on a monthly basis how much money you would be paying back. But again, like it will always be an average, because it has a lot of calculations. So Jeff is the best person to answer this question for you. I would recommend that you could reach out to him if you have a number in mind, like if you already know how much money you need.
Okay, great. And Alexander is asking, how long does it take to get approved?
Good question. Because this is a character-based loan, as we mentioned, so we rely so much on trustworthiness. We usually takes more time, like long time, to investigate to make sure that everything is guaranteed and everything is not going to put you into poverty, as we said in the first plan. So I say regularly, like an average of 2 weeks to a month. It's not as quick as when you go to a bank, because again, the bank don't care whether you will be able to pay it back or you will be bankrupted. But we care that you don't fall into bankruptcy. That's why it takes longer time. But if everything is ready and your career plan is realistic and everything is quite done and everything is available, it takes shorter time for sure. We say an average of like 2 weeks to a month.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Rami. Thank you, everyone, for your excellent questions. We'll go on with the questions. We do have a queue from the Q&A. Rami
Yes.
Lingui is saying, hi, Rami. As you mentioned in your slide, I'm curious about what the CAP is.
The career action plan. The career action plan, as we mentioned here earlier, that technically it's developed with the help of a career coach from an employment agency. Sometimes people do it on their own, but we always recommend that if you can get support, go for it. Given that we have Manitoba Start as our former partner, I encourage you to set up a meeting with to gain some valuable benefits from the advice that they will give you to help you with your career action plan. And then you will go to our online application portal, and this portal you will need a registration code that you will be given by the career coach at Manitoba Start. And you will apply for the loan. You will just start filling out some of the online career coach plan, as we mentioned. So it will show you, here is in the screenshot. I don't know, am I sharing the screen still?
No.
No, sorry. Okay, you will see here that in this in the now I'm sharing the screen, right?
Yep.
So like you will see some information about like personal information. You will just fill it up. You will just fill up your education and employment. You will fill up what's your current employment status, how preparing for employment in Manitoba. So technically, it's like a normal application. You will be filling it, but you will get these data to fill it with the support of the career coach if you do not know how to start. So it can be realistic to be done in 2 years and a half, as we mentioned.
Perfect. Okay. So Ahmed is asking, can you explain how the variable interest works? Is 4.45% fixed?
Yeah,
Let's
well, I mean,
assume, oh, okay, go ahead.
as of today, it's 4.45, the interest rate. The variable is that if tomorrow because it's prime, I'm not still sharing the screen. I keep doing this mistake. Sorry, Luna. Can I share the screen again?
Yeah, sure.
So if by tomorrow, because it's prime, the interest rate is prime. So if by tomorrow the Bank of Canada decided to increase the interest rate to 5 or 5.5, then the monthly amount that you will be paying will depend on the new interest rate. Yet, if the interest rate decreased, then in this case, your total amount, the money that you will be paying on a monthly basis from your loan will be less. This is the meaning of variable. So there are cons and again, there is cons and pros. Some people sometimes stick to fixed because they say, you know what, we will stick to 4.45 in case the bank, like Bank of Canada, decided to increase the interest rate tomorrow. It will not affect on us. Some people like to take the risk and say, who knows, let's go with the variable because it might decrease. And some people, I would say 2 years ago, the interest rate was 6 point something. The people who took variable are not paying the same amount because now it's 4.45. And that's why we put as of November 3rd, because this is where the variable, like the interest rate, decreased, reaching 4.45 until this right moment.
Great. There is a follow-up question from Ahmed.
Yeah,
So they're saying, let's assume the whole amount is 30K. How much
yeah.
would the interest be under fixed and
That's
variable?
a technical question that the best to answer is Jeff. He can
Okay.
do all the calculations for you, and he can tell you, especially that there are some months where there are prorated days, because there are, like, February was a 28 days for an example, but March is a 31 day. So that's why there is some days here. So there will be difference in the amounts, these variables. So Jeff will be the best person to actually answer and give you like an accurate amount, like an accurate number if you're looking for a number.
Okay. Mohammed is asking, maybe I can rephrase this. It's about someone, a newcomer.
Mhm.
I guess it's about RP. It's PR, I guess, since few
Okay.
days, and then found a job in his field, but
Yeah.
needs to do some training and study. Are they still eligible?
Yes. If they already found a job and they are required to do some courses, for an example, to get promoted, or to even get, like, I mean, be what's the word, like, can be eligible for a higher position, but they will need to do some certificates on the side, some courses on the side. Yes, this loan can help you with that.
Okay, great. Ayudoji is asking if we can share the slides. Yes, we will share the slides. I'm going to share that after the presentation. And Saron is asking, does the in okay no does SEED help with finding jobs or connecting with employers?
Unfortunately, SEED is not an employment organization. We cannot help you with jobs because we do not have an employment sector. We always refer to our partners. Manitoba Start is the best to help you with that. There are some other organizations, and you will also find in the resources some other options like Opportunity for Employment, OFE, or the Immigrant Center. So there are some other organizations that they can help with that. But since we are already here with Manitoba Start, and if you are already a member, I guess they can help you with that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and Saron, I'm going to share some resources or information from our website as well by the end of the presentation. And Lola is asking, does the ineligibility class apply to all the type of loans available?
I'm sorry, the ineligibility for all types, you
Does
mean like the assessment and the credential?
so they're just saying, does the
Because we have two types.
ineligibility class apply
Yes.
to all the type of loans available?
Here we only have two loans: the assessment and the FCR, the Foreign Credentials Recognition Loan. And yes, it applies for both. If you are like a student on a student visa or a caregiver visa, unfortunately, you cannot be eligible for any of the two loans we have here. So these here, like these three ineligibility, refugee claimant, living caregiver, or international student visa, whether it's the student loan or the foreign credentials loan, unfortunately, you're not eligible.
Okay, Ahmed is asking, do you connect people who want to start a business together? Like, for example, I have a business that I want to start, and I also can help in other businesses with my skill and experiences.
That's a good point. You can reach out to the best program if you go on the website, seedwinnipeg.ca, and then you will see the program best, BEST. They are the business enterprise, as I mentioned earlier. They are the ones to do with starting business in Egypt, in starting business in Canada. They do have information sessions every single month as well. There are ones coming soon, so maybe you can check it out, and you can ask this question to the to the business consultant, because the business consultant is the one who delivers the information session on a monthly basis. So you can just go on seedwinnipeg.ca, go to the programs, you will find the best program, BEST. You can find also the connection, the person to reach out to. You can always reach out to them and ask this question via mail if you do not have the time to attend the whole information session to ask the question.
Okay, that's great. Perfect. We do have also a best info session for April 21st if you want to
There you
attend
go.
the same time. Yeah.
There you go. So you already have
Okay.
also an
Yeah.
best, and you'll find that business consultant is the one delivering something similar to mine, so they can always answer your question. Or as we said, you can reach out to them if you don't want to attend or if you do not have the time. Just go to
Mhm.
the website, go to the best program. You will find the person to reach out to. You can always send a message or go to our social media platforms, Instagram or Facebook. Go to the page Seed Winnipeg, drop your question, and you'll find one person from the BEST program answering your question.
Great. That's perfect. And one last question for today.
Yep.
We'll go with Bethlehem's. So they're asking, does SEED help with finding jobs? Okay, the same question. Or connecting with employers? I'm a newcomer, still no job. I'm 2 months and I have PR. Yes. Okay. I got you, Bethlehem. I will be sharing some information with you. So thank you, Rami, again for joining us today, and thank you for all the participants with your excellent questions. That was really great. I'm just gonna quickly share my slides again.
And might as well, Luna, because of the time and the
Yep.
questions. I mean, like, I need to thank everyone for all the questions. I really appreciate it. Questions show that you are listening and you're being attentive. So I really appreciate the time, and I really appreciate the fact that you asked all these questions. They are all good questions. I hope I answered all these questions. But I also, given the time, Luna, I'm gonna put in the chat maybe the
Yep.
link for people to just watch the video
That will be great.
in
Yep.
their own convenience instead of just stopping them now. So I just added the link. 1 second here, and then yeah, 1 second. I'm just going to remove the. There you go. So here's the link. You can, in your convenient time, you can watch it. This will
Yep.
also give you an idea from the people who actually. There you go.
Okay, great. Perfect. That's great. You can check it out whenever you have time. And I'm sharing like a quick survey on the slide. I'm gonna share it on the chat as well if you are unable to scan the QR code on the slide. So this is for us. Again, thank you for choosing Manitoba Start because our services are free and funded by the Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada and the province of Manitoba. Your feedback is very important to us, so just help us finish this quick survey. Your responses are confidential and will only be reported in aggregated without identifying you in any way. So please use the QR code or the link. Yeah, and people are saying thank you for the details. Thank you very much for giving the details and yeah, for the informative station, well detailed information provided. Thank you everyone for joining us as well. So I'm gonna send you the QR code if for those of you who haven't done or unable to scan, or maybe click on the one that I sent you on the chat. But we'll go on with the resources that I will be sharing with you. Okay. So I hope everyone can see my screen. So this is our website. So if you're not a Manitoba Start client, if you want to be our client and receive our services, which I'm going to say, explain you about our services, you just have to go to our website. This is for newcomer option, register for services. Either you can do this online, or maybe you can visit us in person at 271 Portage Avenue, or maybe you can give us a call here or email the front desk. We'll make sure that you get an appointment or you register with us. So what you get by registering with Manitoba Start. So by registering with Manitoba Start, you will be connected to settlement services, so with other partners, and have access to a career services that can assist you with your resume development, career planning. So for those of you who were saying that you are a newcomer and want to start your job search, then feel free to connect with us, because we will help you with your job strategies, interview skill, and career planning as well. For the list of programs on the career services, just click on here, the career services, and you will find all the programs that we have and the services under the career services. Moreover, for those of you who are under the foreign credential recognition, maybe internationally educated professionals, or maybe the profession that need to be regulated in Manitoba, we do have a website designed for you with resources and all the licensing bodies as well. So go learn more about those, or maybe book an appointment with the FCR coordinate navigator to learn more about how you can regulate your profession here in Manitoba. And also, we do have events. So you can go to our event calendar for events like this. We were talking about the best program as well, which we will have it on the April 21st. So just go into our events and then register yourself for any events that you want to attend. Okay, I'm gonna share last two slides. Yeah, so how to connect with us is either website, phone number, or email address. And also you can follow us we're very active on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Follow us for our updated events. And you can also subscribe for our monthly newsletter, where you will get all the month's events on our website, on the first page of our website. So I would like to welcome everyone. Thank you. So on behalf of Remy from SEED Winnipeg and the Manitoba Start team, thank you everyone for attending, and stay well. Have a great day, everyone.